People always say that you have to have money to make money, and that there's an extraordinary level of sacrifice on the road to success. So how is it that investors like us, who didn't start out with much money and who don't rely on banks and credit, how is it that we can increase our income and build our wealth in a way that doesn't require us replacing one full-time job with another while still enjoying the things in life that matter most to us? That has always been the big question, and this podcast reveals the answers. I am Kari Lyke, and this is the Investor Warrior. Hey, you guys. Happy Friday, TGIF. Oh, man, I just realized my Invisaligners are still in. You guys, I have these Invisaligners, and I lisp when I talk. So
just go with it.
You're gonna introduce us while I take that out.
This is Kari Lyke, and this is the Investor Warrior. I don't know what else to say. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Now I can talk.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but here I am. Sweaty mess.
So I hope you all are having a good week. We wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys about discipline. Because Howie is currently doing 75-day hard, which I've done before. I did it
2019.
Was it 2019? It's been that long?
It's been that long.
Oh, wow. Okay. So explain what 75-day hard is and why you're doing it.
So 75-day hard was invented by one of the more popular influencers in the, I would guess, call it the podcast circuit, the influencer circuit, a guy by the name of Andy Friselli. And if you've heard of him, you definitely know who I'm talking about. If you haven't heard of him, I'd encourage you to look him up. Although he's not for everybody.
No, he's not. In fact, when I first started listening to him, I did not enjoy him at all. But then I really started to get into it, and he's really real and raw, and he's got a terrible mouth. So potty mouth. So some people are not going to like that. Like literally every other word is the F word. But if you can get over that, his messages are really, really good. And his podcast is it used to be MFCEO. It's now AF.
Real AF.
Real AF. So he's the one that developed 75-day hard. And so let's talk about why.
So, why he did it or why we're doing it?
Well, I think
kind of do two different reasons. So
I don't think so. I think he developed it for the same reasons that we're doing it.
Well, he developed it originally because he runs if you don't know who he is, he runs several companies. He's a very, very successful business owner and entrepreneur, built his business up by the bootstraps, lived in the back of his little vitamin store for 11 years before he even tasted any level of success.
I think he said he lived on a mattress in the back of his business.
Which is part of what makes him such a powerful influencer, because so many people and budding entrepreneurs can relate to him. Mm-hmm. And so, his message is, in general, all of the things that it takes to be successful, which, is a lot more than just money. And a healthy state is a lot more than just physicality.
A healthy mental state.
A healthy mental state.
It's like a mental toughness.
Well, 75. Well, he did it because as he is the CEO of a company called First Form, which is one of the big
speak up a little.
One of the big nutrition companies. So you can get your protein shakes and your
right.
And
it's a health supplement company.
Health supplement company. Yeah. And so he found himself actually overweight. He's a big guy. He's naturally a big guy.
Which is ironic.
He was like 325 or 350.
You're overweight selling health supplements and weight loss supplements.
That was not lost on him. That was not lost on him. And at one point, they had an event that he was going to be speaking at, and all of his colleagues and people that he respected and stuff were going to be there, and it was 75 days away. So 75. I always wondered why. Yeah, I always wondered why 75.
I always wondered why 75 days. Also.
Yeah. So there isn't a scientific.
I thought that's how long it takes to really implement discipline
or
change.
It's just ironic that it takes about that long before you can finally get something integrated into your nervous system.
Right.
And so he invented 75 hard because he bet his friends and colleagues that by this event, he would be under 10% body fat. He was like 325 pounds.
There was some kind of bet where he was going to owe like 100,000 or 200,000.
Yeah, these are big stakes
to this charity if he did not lose the body fat.
So in the process of this, he invented 75 hard, and so long story short, 75 hard has gained a tremendous amount of following. I'm guessing some of you who are listening to this have heard of it, maybe even participated.
Even people who have never listened to his podcast know about 75 Day Hard is something I have.
I have influenced people to get through 75 Hard who's never listened to Andy Frisell, who's never listened to his show.
But they know about the program.
There's a book, I have it upstairs. There's a book called 75 Hard. It got so big that he eventually wrote a book about it with the guidelines and that kind of stuff. So,
okay. Right. So what is it?
So that's what it is.
So give us the general outline of what 75 Day Hard is.
Yeah. So the general outline of 75 Hard is that there's 5 tasks that you must do every single day. And they include, and it doesn't necessarily, the order doesn't matter. So they include the following: diet. Okay, so
stick to a diet.
You pick a diet and you stick to it. No cheat meals, and also as a part of that diet, it is there's no alcohol. So that's part of it.
What's your diet?
My diet is real food. So eating real food, no processed food, no breads, and no dessert food, no sugars and things like that.
When I did it, it was no sugar, no carbs, no processed food.
Yeah. So. And then some people are doing intermittent fasting diets. Some people do the keto
thing.
I didn't.
I said no sugar, like no fruit, sugar, nothing that
yours
can
was
turn
really
into
strict.
Sugar. Yeah, mine
you have reasons.
I was having some health issues around sugar.
Yep. So. Yeah, exactly. So, by the way, this is my second time doing it. I did it in 2019, and I was the one that influenced all of us to do it.
Right.
And so the diet, that's task number 1. You have to pick a diet and you have to stick to it.
Yes.
You no cheat. The second one.
And no cheating means not even a morsel in your mouth. Like you're packing your kid's lunch and you eat a chip. That is a cheat. You're done. And you have to start all the way over. So if you're on day 10 and you put that chip in your mouth because it's just habit, because you haven't gotten into the discipline of doing the diet, then you literally have to start from day 1. All of these things, if you don't do them by the end of the day or you don't accomplish what you're doing, you have to start over on day 1.
Right.
So we would literally have like dreams. We would be like day 30 and I had a dream that I accidentally ate like a muffin and I woke up in the middle of the night like, I had a nightmare that I ate a muffin and I had to start over.
I call them the 75 hard dreams. You start having them after about day 16 or 17 because when you've gone that long, you start to get terrified about screwing up. So I'm only on task 1.
Okay.
Move along. Carrie gets kind of excited. Okay, so task number 2 is water. I'll just say water is the easy one. So,
1 gallon of water.
1 gallon of water each day.
Every day.
Every single day, which is hard. It is super hard. It is a ton of water, and there are a lot of issues that go along with that, especially for me, where I'm just having to pee all day long.
Well, I already have a small bladder, so it was hard for me too. It was just tough.
Yeah. So the third task would be the workouts. So you must do 2 45-minute workouts separately, and one of them must be outdoors. And there needs to be a separation. It's cheating. It's not good form to do them back to back, where you can like run to the gym.
Yeah, like I'm going to get up in the morning and do an hour and a half.
And go 90 minutes. It doesn't work that way. So I started doing that before, and then I had to like reset myself and spread it out. Actually, Michael Shields is the one that called me out on that one. So I had to reset myself and spread them out.
Yeah.
Because my schedule is so tight. I mean, Kari, you should be asking me, how did you even fit all this in? Because our schedule, we have no capacity as it is with everything that we have going on in our life. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So that's why I tried to sneak them together. But the whole idea is to separate them and get them scheduled in your day so that there's discipline involved. There's planning involved. There's meticulous approach to the whole thing involved. So they're two outside.
I think that everyone watching our show and listening to the podcast, the biggest excuse for not doing something is time.
I don't have time.
And that's we are always like, oh my God, we don't have time to do this. We don't have time to do that. We're running multiple businesses. We have kids. We have each other. And there's just so many different things that we're working on in our life.
We're all tired of hearing everybody else say how busy they are. So the last thing I want to say anymore is I'm busy. I just don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it.
So what 75 Day Hard does is it disciplines you to make the time for the things that are important. You fit them in somehow.
So getting back to the 2 workouts, one of them has to be outdoors.
Lightning, thunderstorms, rain, snow, wind,
2-degree weather,
water, it doesn't matter.
In our case, I'm a sweaty mess right now because I just got in from my run. And it is, I know it is, It's 90 degrees out in the middle of, well, I was going to say August, but it's still September. But in Florida, it's August all the way to November. So
right.
It is miserable.
Do you remember
here. Miserable.
When I did 75 Day Hard, I got to the end of the day and I hadn't done my outdoor workout, and it was like 7 o'clock at night, and there was this huge thunderstorm that was running through. And I looked on my weather.
I remember that. Yeah.
I looked on my Weather Channel app, and it was this huge cell, like enormous cell with lightning everywhere. And I'm like, there's no way I can go outdoors, and I'm going to have to wait until like midnight until I can get outdoors. So I literally got in my car, drove half an hour outside of these thunderstorms.
Yes, she drove to another area without the thunderstorms.
Took the dog, found a neighborhood, and like ran the neighborhood for 45 minutes, then got back in my car and came home because I needed to do my outdoor workout.
And then do you remember, oh my gosh, my plat friend from California. Why is her name escaping me right now? That was doing that.
Oh, she had a cocktail party.
She hadn't gotten her second workout in or her outdoor workout in, and she had to go to a cocktail party. And by the way, her husband was not thrilled about all of this that she was doing. So she was fighting everything,
right?
Which is also a lesson in this whole thing, and about the lessons of entrepreneurship and the struggles that we all go through. And so she literally got her cocktail.
Yeah, put her cocktail dress on, put the heels on, got on her bike.
Can I tell the story?
Oh, sorry.
My friend.
I get excited.
I know. Anyway, you get the
She's my friend.
You get
too.
the impression, and you get the idea. She literally biked to the cocktail party to get her 45-minute out. I think she put her heels in her backpack or something.
Oh,
but,
maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was awesome.
Right.
So these are the kinds of things that you go through because 75 days is a long stretch.
Yeah.
And so
it's consecutive days.
That's task number 3. Task number 4 is reading. So you must read 10 pages of nonfiction every single day. And that is, common sense, not
fill your mind with good food.
It's about filling your mind with good food. And so nonfiction means that
learning, always learning.
Nonfiction means that you're learning, right? That you're growing and all of that kind of stuff.
And it's not just reading the pages. It's like highlighting, taking notes, like really absorbing the information. And it doesn't matter what book, as long as it's nonfiction. So like we read a lot of personal development books like Napoleon Hill and Dr. Dyer and Bruce Lipton and whatever it is you want to read, whether it be health, spiritual, personal development, but it's got to be nonfiction and it has to be 10 pages and you really have to absorb it. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to read this.
Right, exactly. And so that's task number 4. Task number 5 is actually the hardest one. Well, actually for me, everybody's different.
Right. Everyone is different.
Like I don't drink alcohol, so no alcohol is not hard for me, but I hear from a lot of people that that's a big deal, like a super big deal.
75 days of no alcohol.
Yeah, because, for a lot of people, it's ingrained into our culture and it's what they do. And I'm not saying that they're alcoholics, but like for Cindy, she had to, she was going to a cocktail party, but she couldn't drink.
Well, her whole social circle revolved around drinking. So that was really hard for her.
Yeah. So she really struggled with that. And then
these are our friends that we did 75 Day Hard with, which we highly recommend because it is so important to have that accountability with 75 Day Hard.
Unless you're me.
Wow. Mr. Perfect over here. But we had like 5 people that we did it with.
Yep.
We all and we were all over the country. So we were on a group text and just encouraging each other every single day.
For me, the diet's the hardest. I'm an eater. I love to eat. I love carbs. I love bread. Right. I love bready stuff. You
put a loaf of bread in front of this man and he'll
I will eat a large pizza and a half in one sitting. No problem. Like I love it. And it's so hard for me because these are things that we're addicted to. And I'm just, flat out addicted to. I'm not addicted to alcohol, but I'm addicted to bread, right? And this is really, really difficult. Finish, for God's sake.
Let
me finish.
So we haven't gotten to the 5th one.
No, I was getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
All right.
So the 5th one is actually the other really hard one for me, and that is the progress picture. So you need to take a progress pic. So it's a body pic, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a body pic and you try to do it as a selfie and I try to set up the iPhone so that it does the 10-second delay and all of this kind of stuff. I was actually the nonfiction book that I'm reading right now is 75 Hard.
Oh, okay.
I've done it before, but I never read the book. In fact, the book wasn't out when we did it the first time. And
is it a good book?
It's interesting. Yeah,
okay.
It's good. It is good actually because it talks a lot about distinctions and questions that you have around.
Does he write like he talks?
Yeah. No, it's not. There's no F-bombs in it. if that's what you mean.
Interestingly enough, he's also written children's books.
Yes. Yeah. Otis and Charlie. Awesome.
It's actually really cute.
They're awesome little books.
Yeah. Our kids read them.
Otis and Charlie. This is like a commercial for
I know.
For Sally.
We should get credit for this.
Anyway.
Andy.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Try and keep my train of thought.
I just get
and
really
the only
excited.
way that I'm going to keep my train of thought is if you let me finish my train of thought. Okay.
This is the struggle we have in our relationship when we have business meetings.
I forgot what we were talking about.
I do interrupt a lot because I just get excited about life.
Can you tell me what I was talking about before you
We're
got
talking
excited?
about the progress pick and every day you have to take a progress pick.
All right, progress pick. And now, so just to give a little bit away of the book.
Okay.
He talks about a story when he was a kid,
it
sounded like when he was like a teenager, he went to a carnival. And in the carnival, there was sort of a fun house type thing. He said it was like one of these blow up things, but it had like a bunch of rooms. It's like 7 rooms, if I remember this correctly.
Okay.
And basically, you had to go through these different rooms. And at the end, the carnival guy told them, if you can tell me what's different at the end from the different rooms, you'll win a prize. And so him and his friends went through the rooms, and he said that he went through room 1 and room 2 and room 3, and I'll kind of shorten the story a little bit. But every room was blue, was painted blue.
Okay.
Right? And so when they came out, they're like, okay, what's the question? And so he said that the guy said, okay, what color was the last room? And Andy said, I spoke up and I said, oh, that's easy. It was blue. And he said, the carnival guy smirked and he said, no, it wasn't. It was green. And they're like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And he had a green swatch, a green swatch, color swatch that matched the paint in the final room. And he opened the door or whatever it was that they did to see it. And literally it matched exactly up to the room color. And they were like, what? So the reason they think blue is it's sort of a mind trick. As they were going through, the blues were changing hues little by little by little until they went probably from
subtle.
I'm guessing it went from probably a blue to a blue green to like a forest green. I think he said it was like a forest green or something.
Like your shirt.
Yeah, maybe like this. I'm not sure. But because the mind doesn't see it every single day.
Right.
I mean, the mind doesn't see it because it's seeing it little tiny increments. You don't realize that there's a change. And that is the concept of the progress pick is as you go. Because remember, I'll say it again, this is a long stretch of days to be doing all this. I mean, it doesn't seem long until you get into it. And then you're like, oh my God. Like I'm in day 27 right now.
Are you really?
I'm in day 27
wow. Okay.
and I am exhausted, right? I'm like, I need more sleep. I'm not getting up as early because I'm spent. I'm like really spent. And so when you're getting into this for long periods of time, at some point your mind starts to mess with you and you're just like, I don't see the difference. Why am I doing this? I don't see the difference. And so the progress picks, in addition to being one more element of discipline and detail, because that's the other element of this. Okay. And here's the deal. When entrepreneurs are successful, the successful ones over the long term are successful because they do the little things every single day.
Right. No compromise.
No compromise. The minute we start compromising, we lose.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think everybody can probably relate to that, both positive and negative. When we don't compromise, when we haven't compromised what it is that we're after, we have eventually persevered. And when we've compromised, we haven't. And so 75 hard as a whole, because I think I got through all 5 tasks, right? 75 as a hard as a whole is an exercise in no compromise.
Right.
Okay. Because any of this, by the way,
discipline.
Any of this, if you miss it, if you miss one, even the progress pick, you got to start over.
Oh, I know people who have gotten
You started over, what, 18 times?
No, I started over once or twice.
No, it was like 6 or 7 times.
No.
It was really
only
bad.
Oh my gosh, you guys, do you hear this? How bad he makes it.
What was it, Garang? Garang had to start like 6 times.
Goodness, exaggeration.
Discipline?
No, it was one of our.
No discipline.
Are you kidding me? I am one of the most disciplined people on this earth. Now I'm just getting pissed.
I'm teasing.
Okay, welcome to our arguments.
Teasing you is my love language.
It's not mine, but no, it was one of our friends that ended up starting over. Started over. I think I started over once or twice because I was trying to figure out the workouts. I was just going way too intense with the workouts, and I was burning myself out because I was doing like HIIT workouts I was doing HIIT workout once a day, and then a high intensity interval training, which is like pretty intense. And then I was going out and running for 45 minutes for the outdoor workout, and I was just burning myself out. So I think I started once or twice. I mean, at one point I had the stomach flu, and Howie was traveling. So I was by myself with the kids, and the kids were younger at this point, and I was trying to figure out what to do for my outdoor workout. So I got my bike out. I got the kids in the trailer that attaches to the bike. I biked them over to Chili's so that they could eat dinner, not me, because I was like so sick. And then I biked them back, and then I just like passed out that night because I was so sick to my stomach. But it just teaches you that you've got to push through sometimes. And there have been times where our friends have gotten really sick and have to stop, but then they've started over. The discipline is, okay, sometimes you're going to have to stop. Sometimes things are going to get in your way, right? Life gets in the way. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be struggle. There's going to be things that do stop you from doing the things that you need to do. But the point is to get back up and start back over if you have to.
Right. And mad.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Okay. So this goes even deeper than that, because we've all heard this before, right? We've all heard these kinds of messages before. You know, if you get knocked down, get back up. Tony always says, if you try something, and if that doesn't work, make your 2 millimeter adjustment and try something else. If that doesn't work, try something else. If that doesn't work, try something else. And that all sounds good, and we've all heard that. But in my experience, what a program like this does for you is it gets into your inner psyche, okay? Because there is a constant battle going on inside of us, right? You guys have all heard it, the two voices, right?
Yeah.
The Toltecs call it the mitote. The
monkey mind.
The mitote. The mitote is the 1,000 voices screaming at you.
What's the monkey mind? That's Buddha.
If you let me finish, I will get through them. The Buddhists call it the monkey mind. Okay. Greg calls it the anti-you.
Right.
Andy calls it the bitch voice. Okay. I like that one the best. Okay. And we all know the difference, right? The voice, why does he gotta be right there?
I know,
right now?
our lawn guy is literally
why
cutting
does he
the
gotta
bushes
be there right now
on the other side of this well.
I got you interrupting me. I got him outside the window.
It's not too distracting. He's literally right outside the window. Hello.
Hi, Mark. I swear to God, I could slap him right now, right through the window. He's so close. You're killing me. You are killing me.
Okay.
I have never been distracted so much in such a forum in my life. Okay. All right. Where were we? I don't even know. I was really trying to make a good point.
Yeah, go ahead. So the mitote.
Okay.
The monkey mind.
The anti-you.
It's the voices that go on in our head.
The anti-you or the little bitch. And so basically what's going on in our head is that there's two forces going on. There's the real us, the us that's motivated, the us that wants the things that we want, the things that we desire, right? The good forces in our life, because we all know that we're not going to create anything great in our life if we just sit around waiting for it to fall out of the trees, right?
Right.
Anything good in life takes effort, right? The peace is not the new success, right? Serenity is not the new success. Success is the new success, okay? The formula to success is the same formula that it has been since the dawn of time, okay? Work hard, stay focused, persevere against all odds, and you will be successful, period. That's the formula. It's always been that way. Okay. I don't care what the secret says. I don't care what any of this nonsense says. Success is the same formula that it has always been. And the biggest deterrent to our success is the anti-you, right? The mitote, right? The 1,000 voices coming at us, or that one voice that is basically saying, and you know what I've also found? That voice speaks to me at different times, but they're consistently different times. Right. I'll tell you when mine is the strongest. It's in the morning when I wake up.
I would also agree with that.
And I was thinking to myself, and these are the kinds of things that 75 Hard tends to sort of flush out of you, because this is not a fitness program, by the way. This is a mental toughness program, is what this is. Because this is not a battle with Earth, Wind, and Fire, except for that 145-minute workout that you got to go out and do. And sometimes it's nice out and you enjoy it, so that's fine. This is a mental toughness program. And in the morning when I'm tired and I don't feel like waking up, that's when all my doubts start to come in. that's when all my like anxieties really come in.
Mm-hmm.
I actually realized that I'm afraid of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That there's actually fear gathering that's going on, that I'm afraid of the day. And the reason I don't want to get out of bed is because, I'm in this dream state. I'm, feeling all good, sleeping and everything. And now it's like the reality of life hits me. And then at that moment, right? Christians might call this second voice the devil, right? It's like the devil, the anti-you is talking at you and saying, wow, you got, the reality, right? You got all of these things to face. You got these mountains to climb. You got these financial issues to deal with. You've got this project that's behind. You got the kids and the schedule. And with us, we got football and anniversaries and birthdays all in 1 month. And it's like overwhelming for me, sometimes at 4 a.m, 5 a.m. This week it's been 6 a.m. because I'm so tired. And that's when the voice comes in, right? And so that's, for me, that's when it's the strongest. So one of the things that I would suggest to everybody is to be aware. Like that's the first thing is being aware of this voice, right? Tony says awareness, just a pure awareness can be 98% curative of things, but are we aware of this voice? And so one little exercise you can do is actually plotting when the voice comes up, and you might find that there's a pattern. It comes up at certain times, because for me, I know it's strongest in the morning. Then I get up and then I take action. Action cures anxiety, right? Then I take action, and then it gets softer, right? As I go and I slay this, and then I slay this, and then I slay that, and I'm feeling better and better and gaining momentum. And it gets better. But then certain things will trigger the voice, right? And then the doubts come in, and the anxiety comes in, and the fear comes in. And so what this whole program does, I think, is it really gives you the mental fortitude, and it really teaches you how to fulfill promises to yourself. And I know that statement is powerful, because I have interviewed everybody that's finished 75 hard, all of our friends, you. I've asked them, what was the biggest lesson that you learned? And without any prompting, everybody in their own words has said in their top 3, fulfilling promises to myself, right? Because I will fulfill promises to you as my beautiful wife that I love so much more than I will to myself. I'll compromise with myself much less than I will compromise with you. And yet the person that we need to compromise the least with is ourselves. Right? It's putting the mask on first, and then the mask on your loved one. Right? But that's where we let ourselves down over and over and over again. And successful entrepreneurs, and this is where this comes back to being a real estate entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever mission that it is that you're on, it is fulfilling promises to yourself and doing the little things every single day. And this is the progress pick. Because you can see the difference. Even though it's not a fitness program, it gives you a physical metaphor in terms to see the difference of where you were 75 days later. And it is for me the most powerful exercise that I've ever gone through. And so 2 years later, I'm doing it again. Because right now in our life, we are attempting to tackle more than we ever have before. Right? I don't know how much you talk about that on your show when I'm not around, but we are attempting to tackle more than we ever have before. And you would think this would be the worst time to take on a program like this, because I have even less time than I've ever had. But for me, it was the best time, because it is getting me into that tough mindset of no compromise.
Right.
Get it done.
Get
it done. No questions. Don't think about it. Stop thinking and just do.
And start over if you have to. If you
get knocked off and you miss the progress pick, which is the one thing that honestly was my hardest thing. Yeah, you're like,
if you have to start over, because you never had to start over, did you? I think I got to day like 12 or 13 when I had to start over. And I know friends who got to day like 30s and had to start over.
I do too. And they did.
Yeah.
I had to get up at 2 a.m. once to take a progress pick. I swear to God, that's the one I had to put on my phone over and over and over and over again, because it's so easy to miss. It's so easy. And yet, if you really understand the purpose of the progress pick, then you really understand why it's so critical. How many things in your business are like that? That you put off and put off and put off and put off because they just don't seem that critical, or they don't seem that urgent.
Or they're small.
Yet when you get to the end of the next 75 days, there's no difference. Because you didn't do that thing
one little
every
thing
single day.
Yeah.
So the room is still blue, really truly blue.
I like that green. Story.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You want the room to be green when you get to the other side.
Right. Interesting. All right, you guys. So if you have any questions on 75 Day Hard, you can message me and we'll reach out to you. But
or just Google 75 Hard. You'll find all kinds of stuff on it.
And it sounds like the book is pretty good. So
yeah, it is good for distinctions.
Yeah,
it's a quick read. I'm getting pretty good. So.
Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you all have a great finish to the week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Remember, you are only one deal away.